Well, hello there, Aquarius. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your mid-March reading. This is good from now until mid-April. So we'll take a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any areas of resistance or obstacles on your path, and of course, advice from Spirit. So let's jump into it. Let's see what we have on the horizon. You have fogged in. Go slow. Take time. Okay. And Wombat Spirit, be at home. So this is an energy where I feel like you're kind of like a little bit in a holding pattern. Kind of waiting for the clarity to come in a certain situation or relationship that you have. It's not a bad energy. It's just kind of like, I feel like you're not really sure which way to go or what is on the horizon. This is the Hermit energy. So the Hermit energy is knowing that you are the wise one. You have the answers within, but it's allowing yourself to get out of your head and back into your heart, right? Allowing yourself to go within, listening to your intuition and not allowing your mind to try to figure out the way forward. So let's take a look at where this is going. It's beautiful. This is a lovely energy. It has a really, I feel like this has something to do with your work. I don't think this, I don't feel like this is, I feel like this has to do with your work. Like allowing yourself to liberate from some situation that feels stagnant. So this is like a work situation or perhaps a creative project that you're trying to put out or a side business or something like that. It could even have to do with some tangible thing like, you know, wanting to sell your house and buy a new house, but you can't find a new house. So you're feeling kind of stuck. Well, I have to stay in the old house until I find a place to live, you know, a new place or that type of thing. And I feel like what you're wanting is movement. You're in this boat here, right? And you're wanting movement, but it's like you're in stagnant water. You can't find what it is that your heart truly desires. Think about water as your emotions. So it's almost like you're trying, okay, they're saying GPS. So it's a little bit, oh, this is really interesting. It's kind of like you're trying to figure out the answer, and you could be using technology or you could be up in your head about it, trying to figure it out, right? But it's a little bit like my son and I were talking about that the other day, that like, you know, with GPS, we have kind of like, because we especially younger people maybe have used GPS for so long, our innate sense of direction is no longer available. It's kind of like intuitively we don't understand directions. It's kind of like, oh, I just have to log it into my GPS and it'll give me the directions to go where it is that I want. This is that energy of not having GPS, not having a map, right? And having to use your innate sense of direction in order to allow yourself to move forward. And that is exactly what the Hermit energy is. So this is a situation where I feel like you're trying to, you could be asking, for some of you, if this is like business related, you could have like hired a business coach. You could have asked other people, you know, their ideas or how they think you should move forward. Or yeah, this is a Tower moment. Wow. I think you're in a situation that you really, there's a tower coming in, and it could be just an epiphany. Okay, the tower can represent an epiphany, and we have the full moon in Libra on the 25th. We have eclipse season starting. We have the equinox, right? There's so much happening this week, and I feel like you're having some type of an epiphany, but the epiphany is coming from the divine, right? We have divine abundance here. This is in your obstacle. This is your area of resistance. It's allowing yourself to connect to your intuition, to connect to your spirit guides. It's almost like, no, that's okay. I'm just going to use, my GPS to figure this out. But understanding that what it is that you have to sacrifice something in order to bring something new in. This is, and the thing that you're sacrificing, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, but I feel like this is more of a mindset. This is sitting here and thinking about what is your truth in the situation. What you're wanting is more joy. And I'm telling you, Aquarius, the joy is coming, but it's allowing yourself to get into your heart. You could have, I think you're sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging your own sense of balance in your life. So it's kind of like that balance between work and play. You could feel like you've gotten yourself into a situation, maybe even a financial situation, so that you feel like you can't make any changes in your life. I have to keep this job because now I have to pay for this mortgage and the car and whatever else. It's kind of like you've gotten yourself a little bit perhaps in a bind, and you think, oh, I have to stay here. But here's the epiphany. The epiphany is coming. No, I don't. Maybe I do have to sacrifice something. Maybe I have to sell. I'm just throwing something out, but say you purchased a very expensive sports car, okay? And you're kind of like recognizing, okay, I'm going to sell the sports car because not only is the monthly payment big, but the maintenance on it is big. The tires are more expensive than I thought. The maintenance is more expensive. The insurance is more expensive. It's not just the price tag of the car. And you may have to sell the car at a little bit of a loss, right? And it's kind of like, okay, but I'm willing to sacrifice that because it's giving me, I'm being able to liberate myself from that expense so that I don't have to work so hard and I can go have some more fun. It could be even that you bought the car thinking you were going to have so much more fun driving around. Maybe it's a fancy sports car, convertible. And you're like, oh yeah, I thought I would have so much more fun in this car. But you're recognizing that, yeah, it guzzles gas. It needs more expensive gas. It's just like kind of like draining you of your finances. So it's kind of like, well, I thought I was willing to work another 10 hours a month in order to have this fancy sports car, but now I don't even have time to drive the fancy sports car. Or when I'm driving it, all I can think about is how much gas it's guzzling or something like that. Yeah, you're looking, there's something here that's kind of like, it's kind of like a burden, but you're allowing yourself, there's something coming in that's going to, an idea or some offer that helps to liberate you, to bring you back to this sense of, yeah, something is definitely coming to an end. It's allowing yourself to see something in a different light. It's kind of interesting. Gemini had a reading kind of similar to that. I think the thing that's coming to an end really is your mindset about something. Your mindset that you have no other options. And understanding, no, wait a minute, I do have other options. I have to allow myself to look at this situation from the bigger picture. So let's take a look at what your true obstacle here is. Yeah, it's a crossroads. It's time to decide. You have divine abundance here. It's kind of like, I feel like you may have focused on one area of your life, but then you let go some other areas of your life. And I feel like you may have been focusing on your career. There's almost like this energy of focusing on one area of your life. And then because of that, other areas of your life kind of like dwindled. And now you're finding yourself kind of like fogged in. You don't have the clarity. It's like, oh, I thought that this was what I really and truly wanted. But understanding that when you put so much time and energy into that, you didn't have balance in your other areas of your life. And it's kind of like, no, wait a minute. I want balance. I don't want to just be working so hard. I also want to have fun. and allowing yourself to move in that direction. But you get to choose. You get to choose. I think for some of you too, you're in a job that may pay very well, but you're just like drained. You have no energy to move forward. It's like dragging yourself to work every day. And the reason is that you're not in alignment with your true purpose. You were more focused on perhaps having financial stability, or maybe it's a job that pays really well or has really good benefits. So it's kind of like, no, this is the job that I have to keep because it has something that you're wanting, right? Benefits, a good pay, 2 weeks vacation, whatever it is. It's kind of like, yeah, well, I'm not going to look at other options, but understanding you're just like have no balance in the other areas of your life. And it's kind of like asking yourself, okay, would I rather start my own business and maybe not have that fancy 401k? And of course, I'm not giving financial advice here, right? But it's kind of like allowing yourself to sit there and say, what does a judge do? A judge, a fair judge, a good judge, right? Their job is to make things fair, to allow things to be balanced out, that we're not balanced out. There's somebody coming in and complaining, something's not right. I don't have what I was supposed to get. Right? That's the plaintiff. And the defendant is saying, okay, but I want to defend my position. And the judge listens to both sides and decides what's fair in that situation. And I think that that's what you're doing. You're sitting in the situation and thinking, wait a minute, this isn't the life. I think it's a little existential, asking yourself, wait a minute, what am I doing here? My focus is not in the right area. And because Pluto is now in your first house, this is your energy of roles and the identity that you put out into the world, the roles that you play in your relationships. And I think that you're deciding, yeah, I want more balance in my life. I don't want my life to be all in one boat. I don't want all my eggs in one basket. I want to spread it out a little bit. So let's take a look at your advice. Yeah, I think you're afraid to make a move. You're afraid to look at other options because this is a mindset. The Eight of Swords is this self-doubt. You're feeling like you can't make changes. So let's go back to the sports car, okay? You bought the fancy sports car, you're not using it, or it's not as fun as you thought. It's super expensive. You're having to work extra hours. Like your other relationships are out of balance because you're putting so much time and energy into driving this fancy sports car, right? And I know I'm doing something extreme, but it's kind of like, why are you not allowing yourself, if the option is to sell the sports car and you're saying, no, I can't sell the sports car, right? You're fogged in. Then you're kind of like tied into paying for that sports car one way or another. So it's allowing yourself to see this from a different perspective. Why is it that you're holding on to that sports car? What does that sports car represent to you? Does it represent, because Pluto is in your first house, some type of identity that you're trying to show to the world? If you sell the sports car, is that something that you don't want to do because it may look bad to other people, or you may feel judged by it? Are you concerned about being judged by other people? If you sell the sports car, or you take a job that doesn't pay as much, or you start your own business and leave the corporate world, are you concerned about being judged by other people? Allowing yourself to ask yourself, are you judging yourself? Are you making decisions based on what you are fearing other people, how other people will judge you? Because that's keeping you trapped. That's keeping you fogged in. Allowing yourself to say, you know what? This is a life I want to experience, and I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to just kind of like work all the time or feel, look at this, we have Libra on the bottom, the Justice, right? Bring balance. I want balance in my life. I don't want to overgive to this relationship. I don't want to overgive to this job. I want to feel creative. You have creative endeavor here. I feel like you have loss here. I feel like you had an idea, or there's something that you wanted to create, something like that. And you just feel like you couldn't. Yeah, this is beautiful. I feel like somebody was controlling you. But the Emperor, this is Aries season 2, and Aries starts this week. So this is the energy of asking yourself, yeah, what's controlling you here in this situation? I feel like it's a mindset of that you may have grown up with, or something like that. This is taking action based on what your heart desires and not being fearful of what the Emperor may think. And the Emperor can represent a family member or father energy. It could be a boss. Maybe you're wanting to say something to your boss about, yeah, I only want to work part-time or whatever. You're wanting to make some change. I feel like this is kind of career oriented, but being concerned about what other people will say. You're going in a new direction. You're allowing yourself to be free. The Fool is free. Moving forward without the constraints. Yeah, moving forward with balance. Understanding, I don't want to be fogged in. I don't want to be tied, almost like chained. There is this energy of almost being chained to some situation because you can't see a way out, mostly because you're concerned about what other people will think. You know, I'm at that age where a lot of people in my age group are selling a bigger home to downsize, right? And there is a little bit of that mentality. Some people don't want to make that shift because of being concerned about the judgments of other people. Oh, can't you afford the bigger house? Or, oh, you're getting old, so you can't take care of a bigger house. But I recently did that, and the truth of the matter is that I did it because, sure, I want more money to spend on traveling or other things that bring me joy, right? And I also don't want to put so much time and energy into maintaining a house so that I have time for those pleasures in life, right? Understanding, well, what does it matter what other people are thinking in whatever the situation is? It's kind of like, yeah, I'm doing this for me because I want to have. You're doing something, you're making some change because you want more balance in your life and you want to have more time for pleasure and play and joy in your life. So whatever this is, it's kind of like allow yourself to make that change. This is taking you in a path that is so, it's just liberating. It's liberating. All right, Aquarius, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, am I letting fear stop me? Yes. I think it's really the fear of maybe what either one person or a group of people or maybe even, how you feel about it, the way that you're judging yourself. Are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? The juicy secret is that you are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable, but it's up to you to see that by taking action. Yeah, if you're fogged in, the thing that's fogging you in is your fear of moving forward. Because it does mean you have to sacrifice something in order to allow something much more joyous in your life. You have to allow something to be taken down, to be changed in order to go in this new direction. All right, Aquarius, this is spectacular. It really is. I know you have to get over that hump, but on the other side, it is amazing energy. All right, I'm leaving it there. I wish you so much love and light. I truly appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.